Hey, what up everyone? I'm Cynical, and this is Gems of War. And today we have Purple Guild Wars, and the Faction Assault team I actually put on the end. This is post-commentary, so I know what happened. I know I forget to do that sometimes. I'll say I'm going to do something later in the video, then I don't do it. And that's usually when it's live commentary. If it's post-commentary and I'm saying something, then it's probably true because I already know what happened. But here we are on Purple Day, Purple Guild Wars. Make sure you have all purple troops on your side. Put your sentinels up if you can. Put your defends up yesterday, hopefully. And then we'll have the faction assault for the Stonesong Eyrie. We'll have a team for that. It's at the very end, but as you can see, the video is only 22 minutes long. I got all of Guild Wars done and a whole level 20 of the faction assault done in 22 minutes. That's pretty cool. I was like, wow, that's going to be a long video. And I looked at it, I'm like, whoa, it's only 22 minutes. Sweet. And I'm not Paragon. I mean, I'll say that as much as I'll say. That's when people get on me about saying I'm Paragon or whatever. I say I'm not Paragon just as much. It's just a fact. He's saying a fact. He's conceited. Yeah, I'm not Paragon. I'm second place this time. Using the Life and Death, Obsidious, Leprechaun, Infernus team. So sorry to the people who don't have Infernus or Obsidious. Should have got Life and Death last week on Tuesday. And put some purple teams in the comments if for other people to use if they don't have these troops. That'd be nice. I'd appreciate it. The team I used to use was some sort of Hellcat, Elamagrim team. I can't really remember. It was a Hellcat, Elamagrim, and something that burned. I think it was a furnace, actually, so not much help to you there. I think I just used a different weapon, and I used Elamagrim and Hellcat somehow. Got our win there. We lost a troop, actually, though, I think. I wasn't paying attention. Hold on a sec. I don't know. I'm tripping. We didn't lose a troop. I had the wrong medals on, though. I had, I'm going to put on my magic medals, I think, here. But what I like to do with this team is, with the Life and Death, pretty much look for extra turns first, obviously. As long as you're not frozen. If you're frozen, you got to pay more attention to what extra turns you take. And that's a skill that comes into the game. Like, I didn't really think about that until, I don't know, like a year ago maybe. That was one of the last things I learned was, I don't know why, but if you're frozen, I know it's going to sound ridiculous hearing this from me, but I'm talking about a year or two ago, not recently. If you're frozen and you match a extra turn on that color, then you won't get the extra turn. And that's a mechanic I don't think a lot of people understand. That I just want to talk about for a second. Yeah, if you get frozen, let's say that my Leprechaun got frozen. So Leprechaun's frozen, you can tell because it looks all frosty. That means that you cannot get an extra turn with purple or green. And, yeah, basically. You can't get an extra turn with purple or green. You can take the extra turn, but you won't get it. So you got to pay attention. You can't be just matching extra turns willy-nilly just because they're there. Like right here, I would have to pay attention. Do I have anybody that's frozen on yellow or brown? Nope. Okay, go ahead. Or actually, I think I just had to be. I would have to be frozen on yellow and brown for that situation. But anyway, pay attention to who's if you're frozen or not. Basically, pay attention to that because I don't always look at my troops. Like if they're up, they're up. If they're not, they're not. I'm looking at the gems mostly. So sometimes I'll let a freeze go by, and I'll match and I'll screw it up. So pay attention to that. Make sure you know which one of your troops is frozen if they are. And it'll save you some trouble. Because then it comes down to, do you match that 4 that you're frozen on, or do you match that 3 that you're not frozen on? And usually you want to match the 3. I know it sounds crazy, but you have a chance at a mana or a mana surge off a 3 match, but you do not off a 4. And you're definitely not getting one matching that 4, and you're not getting an extra turn, so you might as well match the 3. So that's what I'm saying it for, basically. Don't do a 4 match on a frozen color, which you will know because if your troop's frozen, that means every color it uses is frozen. Don't match that extra turn, which it's not even an extra turn anymore if you're frozen. Even though it's 4 or 5 gems, you're going to get more mana matching a 3 match in that case. So a frozen extra turn versus a 3 match, the 3 match is always going to be the better choice because you can get a mana surge, which can do better than like a 4 match with no chance at mana surge, no extra turn, all that. So, and yeah, we're in bracket 3. I just won another matchup there, so we're 2-0. This team, this Moonlight Slayers, they're like mid-range bracket 3, so pretty good actually. You know, if you get up into bracket 3, that's what I consider good. The top 2 brackets definitely the best. But then bracket 3, second best, and then bracket 4, you know? Well, I guess, you know what I mean. Bracket 1's on their whole own level, and then bracket 2 is on their whole own level, and then bracket 3 is on their whole own level, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's bracket 1, 2, and 3, so they're the first best, second best, third best, but there's like gaps. There's gaps between them, and it's not just a number. Bracket 1, there's a huge gap between 1 and 2. Then there's a really big gap between 2 and 3. And then there's a gap between 3 and 4. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, mostly here looking for extra turns in the beginning. Then usually casting Leprechaun or matching Brown to get that barrier. After that, I like to throw Life and Death as soon as possible to get them death marked and to gain some life, you know, off the life drain. After that, it's mostly I like to cast Obsidious at least once to get them all stunned up and everything. Or, you know, to create mana and everything. And then pretty much using Infernus after that. So sometimes I'm casting Infernus a couple times at the end to kill them off. Instead of like Life and Death over and over, because you don't want to cast Life and Death over and over. You're just resetting your death mark. But you're also gaining health, which I could have probably used there, because that's when I lost my troop on the 3rd battle. So, I don't know. It's kind of like you gotta decide between the two. It's either offensive or defensive. Which the defensive move is almost offensive as well. And I'm still having trouble with the Final Fantasy VII winning that poll, you guys. Like, I'm looking at I watched this guy, his name is Old Dragon. He does a lot of, like, old adventure games, but he also does, like, RPGs. And, he's playing Final Fantasy VII Remake every single day. And he has a 16,000 subscribers. 16,000, like almost 17,000 or something. And he puts out videos every day, like 5 times a day, like a lot of videos. He has way more subscribers than me. Anybody that does Gems of War, he has way more subscribers than us. And he's only getting like 80 to 100 views on Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I'm like thinking, like, for me, only having 2,000 something subscribers, playing Gems of War mostly, I hope you guys really like Final Fantasy VII Remake, so we can at least hit those numbers. Like, that's what I would be wanting. To go buy a game for $60, $70. I know this will be the last time I even talk about it. I'm probably just gonna do it and see what happens. Maybe do a test run, not commit myself to the whole game. I'll just do a test run, like play like the first. I'll play like 3 parts of it or something, 3 days worth. And if it doesn't get views, like if let's say it gets like 20, 30 views, like I probably won't play it. I'll just play it on my own time. Keep doing Gems of War and Dark Souls and stuff. But if it gets like 75 views or 100 views, I'd probably be fine with that. Even like 50 would be like the basement, because that's what Dark Souls is like around. And I know I'd probably benefit from quitting the Dark Souls. So if I bring something new in and I buy it and I pay a lot of money to bring it in and I put out a poll and almost 100 people say Final Fantasy VII and then only like 20 people are watching it, that's going to be a little bit irritating. But yeah, this purple team is a slight tweak from last time, because last time I actually lost a battle, which I'm sure some people will think is whatever, bragging or whatever. No. I did pretty good last time, and somehow I lost Paragon. I was Paragon. I only lost one battle, and I lost Paragon. Have you ever done that? Has anybody ever had that happen to them? It kind of sucks. It's like I did so good. I only lost one battle. I got like 9k on every single day, except for that one day. Over 9k. And I somehow lost it. I got second, but I guess the other guy went 5-0 all week. But still, you think on one day or the other, like maybe I'd get more points than him, and then another day I'd get a little more points than him. But I guess I don't have my points game down as much as I thought. I thought 9k was good, but obviously like 9,500 is good. And higher than that's even better. But I was cool with hitting like 9-1, 9-2, 9-3, because that's all it took usually for me to win and get Paragon. But yeah, I lost one battle on Purple Day, which is today, obviously, of course. I looked at it when I woke up and looked at it. I was like, of course it's purple. Or I think I knew yesterday. I was like, yeah, of course it's purple. The one team that lost last week, I have to use today. And so I put in Obsidious instead of Elamagrim, plugged in Obsidious, using the Obsidious and Furnace combo there. It worked better this week in a higher bracket, so that's good. And not even facing a slouch either, facing a decent team, a mid-range bracket 3 team. But yeah, it's a lot of explosion, a lot of mana generation. With the 3 troops on the bottom, they all do that. So Obsidious destroys a 5x5 block. Leprechaun destroys all green gems. And Infernus explodes like 5 or something gems after it casts. I don't know exactly, I forget. And then you got your Life and Death, draining their 2 bottom troops, death marking them. I think it's also draining mana from the first troop up there, which helps a lot, especially in this type of battle where they have Wrath, and they could cast Wrath and get a bunch of skulls on you. If you keep draining him, like, I hope I cast it here, but I don't think I do. I think I cast Infernus. I'm like deciding whether to cast Infernus or to do skulls, like, because I have 69 attack, they have 82 health, and they're burning. Is that gonna, if I use the Doom Skull, will that kill him? That's what I was thinking. And I decided against it. Which it ends up working out. Their 3rd troop died off a death mark, I think. Or no. Did it die? Ooh, yeah, it did. It died off a death mark. I love that. I wish death mark would go back to the way it used to be. I mean, it was frustrating to face death mark, but I liked using it as well. Back in the day, I don't remember if I have it exactly right, but just the way that it reapplies when you cast it again. Like, I hate that. It should set it, if you have a death mark on somebody and you reapply it, it should not reset the timer. It should, like, gradually get worse and worse until they die. That'd be cool. It should be like a death countdown or something. Alright, so we got 9,329 points, went 5-0. That's a solid day, especially for one of my worst teams, my worst two teams probably with red. 5-0, no Sentinels. Second place here. Just take a look and see how everyone else did. Somehow, looks like a couple people having trouble. As long as everybody plays, you know, that's all you can really ask. You can tell them how to do it, but people don't listen. I remember a long time ago when I played Guild Wars for the first time, or you know, when I finally got into a guild that was doing it and doing it semi-seriously, I would just use my best team every day. I wouldn't even do the right colors. And then eventually, watching people on YouTube, I realized the importance of using the color of the day. Another thing from a long time ago that I'm just like the freeze thing. But I'm trying to think back to when I was a newer player and try to help you guys that are newer players. That way, if you're watching right now and you don't have Infernus or Obsidius, at least you can gain some knowledge from things I'm saying. If you don't get a team from this video, you can get some help in other areas, you know? So here's a team you can use. I realize I said the Possessed King yesterday, but I didn't. He can't be used for Stonesong Eyrie. I was thinking Silver Necropolis, but I did show you two other teams, so, you know, just use one of those. And, yeah, so you can't use Possessed King. I was, tripping yesterday, thinking of Silver Necropolis. I've been doing Silver Necropolis every single day for my Gyms of War cardio, so it's like burned into my brain, and it was almost the exact same team, so I guess I was thinking of that faction. But yeah, use the triple finesse Nimbus bow. That's the easiest, best team to use. There's no mythics, no legendaries. I don't know what the weapon is considered, but you can just get it for some diamonds in the Soul Forge or in the original event. That's why you need to get these weapons. If you don't have Nimbus Bow, then you haven't been watching my channel for the last year when I've been stressing to get the weapons every time in the shop during events. And Nimbus Bow has come up in the Soul Forge at least once or twice in the last year. So you could have got it then. But if you're a brand new player, I understand. You can use any other weapon and you'll be fine. So don't worry about it. I think Nimbus Bow is the best because it gives yellow. It makes yellow on the board. Plus it's making extra turns, so it makes Finesse stronger. Because every extra turn you get, Finesse gets that much stronger. Like 12 to every skill. Every one of your Finesses gets 12 to every skill. Plus your hero does, as long as you have it as a Stormcaller. So your whole team's getting stronger every time you match 4 or 5. And your Nimbus Bow is like creating that situation. Your Nimbus Bow is making it so you get those 4 or 5 matches. And it's making the color you need, yellow. So that's why I use it. Other people use different stuff, I think just to be different. But the one downside to Nimbus Bow is that it does make so much yellow that when you're playing in an event where there's Vow Ravens, yes, the Vow Raven could get away every once in a while. But in stuff like this, I think it's fine. I haven't really ever had that problem. I think I've had one Vow Raven get away using the Nimbus Bow Finesse team like one time. Because I remember it did happen at least once. But it wasn't that big of a deal. It was like something where I had way too many sigils anyway. I didn't really care. So that's the only thing, like with the Nimbus Bow. If you're super scared about that and you're like on the edge of a butt hair with how many sigils you got and completing the whole event and getting all the rewards, then okay, I see using a different weapon. But I really like the Nimbus Bow because it makes the color you need and it's making extra turns. So I think it's perfect. And I love this team. And I like trying to make teams out of the other Guardians that came in a few months ago. I don't know how long ago that was. Was it like 6-7 months ago? now? I could probably go look on Terran's World. But when's this update gonna come, guys? When's this update? I'm thinking next Tuesday. I'm usually off by a little bit, so they'll probably make it Monday. They'll probably make it either Monday or next Monday or Tuesday. That's my guess, though. The next couple weeks, we're gonna get the new update. Unless there's something going on where they have to delay it, or, you know, because the world today, or they're working at home and blah blah blah. Who knows? I don't watch the developer streams anymore. And y'all know why. And I don't want to talk about it. They just act like I don't exist, so I'll act like they don't exist, and we can all be petty. So I don't know when it's coming out. I don't know if they've dropped any hints. Usually they're just on there not talking about Gems of War, to be honest. So at the few times I've watched it, they're either joking around with each other, or showing pictures from home, or not talking about Gems of War, playing Puzzle Quest or something else. The amount of time they actually spend, like when there's a different person there, I'm mostly talking about one person. When there's a different person there, they like to talk about Gems of War more. I like a lot of the developers. Like, I'm only really talking about one, so I guess I should specify. Because I like all the rest of them, I kind of like, so I'm pretty much only talking about one. So I don't want them to think, like, if they ever hear anything from my channel, make sure that I'm not talking about them. Like the dude that comes on, he's always good. I like him. The ones you don't see, I like them. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Here's the team for the faction event for today. It can go all the way, get all the rewards, go as far as you want. If you want to go to 500, go to 500. It's fine. And then a purple team that's better than the last one I showed you because we went 5-0. Just plugged in Obsidious. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Consider joining. It really helps run them playlists. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.